Have you ever wondered what drives someone to sacrifice everything for an ideal? In the dark universe of Akame ga Kill, a character shines with unparalleled intensity, even in the shadows of his dubious morality. Run, the enigmatic right hand of his death, is one of those characters whose story deserves to be told with attention to detail and the impact of his choices. But what do we really know about him? Who was Run before becoming a puppet in Kurome's hands? And why did his fate lead him to be such a complex figure? Let's explore the journey of this teacher-turned-soldier, whose motivations and skills made him one of the most intriguing members of the Jaegers. Run was a young man with a serene appearance, with blonde hair and golden eyes that reflected a superficial calm. His attire varied from white tunics and formal suits to robust winter clothes, but they always maintained an air of elegance and sophistication. This appearance, however, hid a fierce determination and a sharp mind. Unlike the brutish warriors around him, Run preferred to use his intelligence as a weapon, always thinking several steps ahead of his enemies and allies. His journey begins in a peaceful setting where he worked as a teacher. However, this tranquility was brutally interrupted when he returned home to find all his students massacred, a crime that was shamefully covered up by the city to protect its reputation. And it was this injustice that ignited the flame of revolt in his heart. Run then did the unthinkable. He seduced and manipulated to rise through the Empire's ranks, determined to change the system from within and find those responsible for the massacre of his students. Here, we see a side of him that is both admirable and disturbing, his willingness to use any means necessary to achieve his goals. He infiltrated the military elite, became one of the Jaegers, and soon stood out as Estetha's personal assistant. His ability to remain calm under pressure, along with his sharp intellect, made him a key figure in the Empire's war machine. But Run was not a mere executor. He was a strategist, a man who believed in reform through precise and calculated actions. His alliance with Estetha and the Jaegers was, in part, a means to an end, to destroy evil from within. However, Run was not devoid of emotions. His relationship with his fellow Jaegers, especially with Wave and Kurome, reveals a human side that is often forgotten amidst his cold and calculating facade. He was capable of empathy and even affection, risking his own life to protect his friends on several occasions. Even after his death and subsequent reanimation as a puppet by Kurome, his concern for Wave and Kurome remained intact, demonstrating that some parts of his humanity survived, even after death. In one of his final missions, Run confronts the consequences of his choices. Together with Kurome, he decides to eliminate the Wild Hunt, a faction he believed brought only dishonor to the Empire. This final confrontation is a perfect synthesis of his duality, a man willing to commit horrendous acts in the name of a greater good, but who simultaneously maintains a personal code of honor that guides his actions. When he confronts Champ, a member of the Wild Hunt, the brutality of his revenge is terrifying, but it also reveals the depth of his anger and how betrayed he felt by a system that was supposed to protect, but instead corrupts and destroys. And in the end, it is this mix of ambiguous morality and commitment to justice that defines Run. Even in his final moments, while accepting his imminent death with a smile, he still questions the extent of the Empire's corruption and laments the distorted state of Kurome's mind. He is a character who lived in a world of gray tones, where good and evil are not clear, and where his choices reflect the complexities of a world that is both cruel and full of opportunities for redemption. Run is a man who lived, fought, and died for an ideal, but at what cost? And here we are faced with the final question. In a world where the ends justify the means, how far would you be willing to go to achieve your goals? Would you sacrifice your own humanity, like Run, to see your ideals realized? Or would you choose a different path, perhaps less bloody but equally uncertain? This is the true enigma that Run leaves us, a reflection on the price of justice in a world without absolutes.